Venezuela is located on the northeast coast of South America. It is known widely for its petroleum industry, but also its diverse territory. The northern portion of the country has a mountain range, the west has Lake Maracaibo, and in the southeast you will find vast plains and forests. The world's tallest waterfall, Angel Falls, is located in Venezuela. Venezuela is a federal presidential republic. This is a federation of states with a democratic type of government. The president is both the head of state and the head of government. This country's oil reserves are the largest in the world, which is why its economy is largely based on petroleum. It accounts for over 50% of the country's gross domestic product and 95% of total exports. Recently, Venezuela has experienced an economic meltdown. Since the country depends mainly on oil, it started to struggle when oil prices went down. Prices went from $110 a barrel to roughly $35 a barrel. Inflation has reached 141%. One Venezuelan bolivar is worth 16 cents in America. The country is also experiencing shortages due to the enactment of price controls and policies under the presidency of Hugo Chavez. The shortages have become greater under Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela's current president, because of the government policy of withholding U.S. dollars from importers with price controls. These shortages have left stores completely empty. Basic goods such as milk, toilet paper, and even food have become scarce. People wait for hours in line just to buy a few basic groceries. A mixture of Venezuela's high level of violence, inflation, and shortage of basic goods has led to political unrest. Most people are protesting against the government, and the government forces have gone as far as using tear gas on the protesters and arresting journalists. Venezuela received a downward trend arrow due to the government's repressive response to anti-government protesters. According to Freedom House, the country is ranked partly free. Independent media has suffered because of physical attacks on journalists. The Venezuelan government rejected the request for guarantees for freedom of expression and the safety of journalists made during the 2011 Universal Periodic Review. Venezuela ranks at 81 in power distance. This means that the president has held a considerable amount of power for years. This is demonstrated in the way the media is handled. Under the presidency of Chavez, the government routinely investigated and imposed sanctions on media outlets that spoke out against them. President Maduro is not much different. In 2014, Maduro unsuccessfully tried to get CNN off of Venezuelan airwaves. Venezuela is ranked 137th out of 180 countries in the 2015 World Press Freedom Index. Many local and foreign journalists were the target of threats, insults, attacks, and arrests by the Bolivarian National Guard. Recently, there has been a significant turnaround in Venezuela's government. For the first time in 15 years, the Venezuelan opposition has assumed control of Congress. Another turning point is the return of independent media outlets. After being banned for 6 years, they are allowed to resume coverage of legislative sessions. Before that, only Congress's official television channels were allowed to broadcast live from sessions. This proves to be a challenge for President Maduro as the head of the new Congress, Henry Ramos Alop, plans to lawfully oust him.